Let's spend a little time talking about working with highly mobile and homeless students. You are yet another face in the life of a highly mobile student. Another person to listen to, another person to get to know, another person to tell them what to do. The student you're working with needs to feel safe and comfortable with you. Give yourself and the student you're working with time to work on being together, getting to know each other. This should not take place of getting something done, but rather it should be the first part of each session that you work on. When you work together, take time to be together. Homeless and highly mobile students' sense of stability and safety have been shaken. It's important to build this relationship. They've lost so much in their short lives. Building and losing relationships is a common experience for them. Having someone wanting to build a relationship does not mean that it will be easy. Trust and safety are hard to build once you've lost them over and over and over again. Be patient, build a little each time you get together, and in the end, you'll have quite a foundation. As you get to know your student, take time to find out a little bit about them. Sort out that potential. Take time to find out what they're good at, what they need, who they are. Make the most of your time. Have a plan. Try not to make assumptions. It's really easy to think that just because you're working with this child that there is something that's not right, that something's wrong with them and you need to fix them. What you need to do is to really get to know who they are and help them figure out themselves what's the best way that they are, the best way that they can be a learner. Help them figure out how they can be the best learner they can be. Try not to be alarmed if they share things with you that you did not expect to hear from them. If you do hear something that is alarming, make sure you share this with your classroom teacher. She will take it from there. Be consistent with your students. They can move in and out of your lives quickly, or they could stay for quite a while. Treat each session as it could be your last session. When you're working with highly mobile and homeless students, their time for getting together with you can be short. And you want to make sure that you start a session and end a session with it being complete so that a student who may not come back the next week have something completed already with you. One of the things you can do is build an interest inventory the first time you get together. This is a good way to start to get to know each other. Complete it, have it done, but then come back to it each week as a way to reintroduce yourself to each other. Tweak it, add a little bit, add a few more questions, ask for clarification. It is something that the student is already familiar with and will be a nice tool for you to re-engage with each other. If you have a student that looks like or feels like they need to get up and go, ask the classroom teacher if you can explore the school. The library is a great place to check out. You can look at books, you can share a story together, you can spend time getting to know a little bit more about the library. Finish projects, but be willing to add or change them when you get back together again. This way, if they leave before you get back together, they have a finished product they can take with them, but yet they can also come back and change them and re-look at them and renew them. Make sure that you come regularly. Being a volunteer for a student whose life is very mobile can be very rewarding, but it'll also be important that you're consistent with coming every single time, or at least letting the student know when you are not coming. Mobile students' lives are already unpredictable and full of mistrust. These students look forward to that consistency and the support that you are giving them. It's important to let them know when you can't meet with them, but it's also important to know why you're not meeting with them. We don't want them to assume that it's because of them that you are not coming. Keep your expectations high. Your student deserves your best support just like you deserve their best effort. Do not lower your expectations because their life is hard. You may need to think of a different way to approach the information or to share the information, but keep those expectations high. Expect them to do their work, expect them to learn. One of the things that we like to do in our program is an activity called What is Your Day Like? This is an activity we do with students where we start to have a conversation about how their lives are the same and different. It moves us into the conversation about homelessness. Take a moment to read through all these things that a homeless or highly mobile student might encounter during their days at school. How might this affect them at school while you're working with them? You can find this activity on the link on this page called What is Your Day Like? Because of the mobility in the lives of these students, they forget and leave things behind. They often learn not to become attached to things. They could also swing to the other end of the spectrum and be highly organized and know exactly where everything is and not want anybody to touch or move anything. They have a huge sense of loss. They have to always make choices about what to keep and what to let go of. Having something important to them will be a very hard thing to let go of. When you give them something new, plan to have them keep it. Giving them something and taking it away right away is another sense of loss. Often when a family is homeless, they are having to share all their belongings with each other, and they don't have their own thing. Even a new set of markers that they might be using, they may not want to put it in the community marker bin because they don't have anything like that at home. They don't have anything where they're staying like that, and they may want to keep it themselves. This is something to make sure you think about when you hand them things to use that are new or things that you say are theirs. Understand that if they do have something that they want or they want to keep with them, they may need to keep it with them. In their backpack could be all their worldly possessions, and they might want to know that it's always safe. If they are unable to keep it with them, help them find a safe place for it to be so that they know that it can be left alone and it will be okay. Homelessness is considered a trauma. Students who have experienced trauma may have triggers that they react to. Sometimes we know what these triggers are, sometimes we do not know what they are. The triggers can cause students to react in different ways. Sometimes they'll act out, sometimes they'll withdraw, sometimes they'll speak more or they'll become inattentive. Sometimes they'll become shy. Staying grounded and non-reactive as possible when helping a student deal with a trigger is what you might think about. Getting help from somebody else may also be a way to support them. If it is something that is feeling too big for you, make sure you ask the classroom teacher or support staff at your school to assist you. They are great at helping you figure out other ways to support students and other ways to work with them. On our link on our website is some more information about children and trauma and its effect on them at different age levels. What should you do if a child mentions to you that they're homeless? Don't panic. Don't overreact, and stay calm. Younger students may do this just as a matter of fact. Older students may do this to see if they can get a rise out of you. Or maybe they just want to talk about it with someone. This is also another good opportunity to share this information with your classroom teacher or support staff at the school. They have great ways for having conversations with kids, and they are the staff that will be around them all the time, so that if they need someone to connect to when you're not there, they're a great person to go to. If they do mention that they're homeless, acknowledge it and listen. This is not yours to solve. You volunteered to help support the student academically. Ask somebody else to step in and help you with this. You may want to share any important information that you hear about family situations with your tutor coordinator or your classroom teacher. Even the most experienced tutors sometimes struggle with the best way to support a student. Connect with your classroom teacher. They will have the best insights on the students that you're working with. Make sure to share the milestones with them also. They're wanting to know what they're doing and what milestones they've made. Let the students know that they're doing well also. Any positive feedback you can give to them will help them know that they're learners and that they're doing well. Know that you're making a difference in the lives of some very special students. These students are our future, and you're making a difference with them. Thank you.